Hello there gang, and welcome to another episode of A Blast from the Past with me, Devere. And today we'll be taking a quick look at Broken Sword, The Shadow of the Templars, released by Revolution Software way back in 1996. I believe it was for both the PC and the PlayStation. So Broken Sword is of course a traditional point and click adventure game. So let's just dive on in and have a quick look, shall we? Which one was I? Yeah, that was the one. So this is just after the introduction. Now, it's worth noting, when you buy the game either at GOG.com or Steam, you can only buy the Director's Cut version, the inferior Director's Cut version. However, luckily, it also comes with the superior Classic version included free. So, why is the Classic so superior? Well, let's have a look, shall we? Option-wise, a game of this age, you don't get a lot other than a few audio sliders. So obviously the first thing is the excellent level of hand-drawn art that this game really brought in. I mean, it's well, you can see for yourself, it's still quite impressive by this day. And of course, we play our main protagonist here, George Stobart, voiced by probably the greatest name in history, Rolf Saxon, an actor by trade. Don't forget that name in a hurry. And yes, in traditional point-and-click fashion, we go through things to interact with and clues to the mystery.
The blast had blown out the glass, leaving a gaping hole.
So other than the excellent hand-drawn art was also the level of animations that was brought to the game.
The umbrella had protected me from the bomb blast, but it was of no use to me now. I contemplated crawling under the umbrella and pretending none of this had ever happened. Wrapped around the lamppost was a newspaper.
So let's grab that, shall we?
The leading article referred to the visit of a Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state. That was the only news story. The rest was rumor, gossip, and sensationalism. Then I noticed the writing at the foot of the page. It read Salah ad-Din, 1345.
So not only did you get the excellent hand-drawn art and excellent level of animations, there was also an incredible amount of voice work acting in this game, compared to what was in point-and-click adventures at the time, and also an excellent musical score that plays throughout.
The pretty young waitress was unconscious.
Up the top there is the inventory screen. Now, I don't know why, but my mouse keeps skipping around during...
It was the body of the old man. It was hard to believe I'd seen him alive only minutes before.
Now the game is mostly set in Paris, of course, and as you find different parts of the clues and the story, you go to different areas. But also, the game takes you to places such as Ireland, Scotland, and Spain in adventures. I think it was Syria as well. All with their own characters and very well written story.
The drain pipe looked as if it would bear my weight. The window was protected by stout-looking iron bars. I took a deep breath and prepared to climb the drain pipe. I guess the clown had an escape over the rooftops.
So yeah, it's just a level of detail in this game that really quite, well, very deep.
It was a battered old trash can.
And so the story itself is pretty intriguing. But the other thing that really set it apart is the amount of characters you'll meet in the various locations you'll travel to. Hotels and museums, say Syria and Ireland. And there isn't a forgettable character. There is not one forgettable character in this game. They're all fun. It's very tongue-in-cheek and plenty of humour, of course. So, why do I still think this is the superior version? What did they ruin with the director's cut? Well, we used the magic of video editing to to compare the two, and we'll find out. So let's dive there now. I suppose one improvement was you now get a flash little looking interface. That's just to restore a game. So we're in basically the same place, but the first thing you might notice is there's now loads of little glowing blue icons over things. And the second thing you might notice, I don't know if you'll see it or not quite clearly, but the graphics have this weird kind of blur over everything. They're not as crisp and clear as they were in the classic version. It's see, a lot of things to interact with have been taken out. Here's one very small improvement. Some things have been made a little bit more interactive, such as this newspaper.
The leading article referred to the visit of a Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state. I noticed the writing at the foot of the page. It read, Salah Eddin, 1345. The column was devoted exclusively to rumor, gossip, and sensationalism. The big story was about the brutal murder of a French media magnate, shot down in cold blood. The guy oozed confidence, like a regular French statesman.
So yes, if there's anything to interact with, it's now marked out for you. The nice slick interface at the top's gone. It's been replaced by this briefcase system, which is very cumbersome for interacting with things. There's now an irritating little hint journal as well. Clues there, you can clue system added, it was never needed. If we go into the cafe here for a moment, see, the waitress is now awake.
The waitress was clearly suffering from shock.
And the score's all intact. I was saying we was about to talk about the French chappie who got shot, the politician. He said decided to add a new introductory scene to the game.
The clown had fled into this alley, but there was no sign of it.
In which you play as Nico, which is the female French reporter he meets later on. The only problem is, the puzzles in that section long and cumbersome with a lot of backtracking. It actually conflicts with the rest of the story later on. It makes some of the other dialogue a little bit nonsensical.
The drain pipe looked as if it would bear my weight. I took a deep breath and prepared to climb the drain pipe. I guess the clown had an escape over the rooftops.
Yeah, so it's dialogue's there, it's gone for some reason. But it's not just bits of dialogue they've removed, although they have put a few new little bits in fairness, I suppose. But they've also taken out the death scenes. You see, yes, in the classic, there are places where if you get it wrong, you die. That's all been taken out, as have some of the more slightly complicated puzzles. Now, in all fairness, this game wasn't majorly puzzle heavy. There was some of the usual point and click, take something out of your inventory, combine it, and then give it to someone. But this was always more about the story, the characters, and the dialogue. It was always really its first and foremost strength, shall we say. And yeah, so they've downgraded lots of it really. There's less dialogue, less humour, all the attention's gone because you can't die, and all the exploration's gone because everything you can interact with or do something with, it's got a nice little blue pointer all over it. So yeah, it's taken out a lot of the exploration as well. I mean, all the basics are still there. You still travel to the various different locales and meet the different characters. But yeah, this is why so many of us consider this the director's cut downgrade. But as I said, the good news is if you buy the director's cut, you do get the superior classic version. So maybe you could just download it, install it. And I would suggest you play through the classic version first, and then if you wanted to, just for completionists, you could try the Nico, because it is right at the beginning of the game. You could try the new Nico section for yourself, and just for the sake of it, because as I say, the puzzles in it I just found very tedious with a lot of backtracking. Didn't really add much to the game at all, in all honesty. So anyway, gang, yeah, this was Broken Sword. In its day, absolutely revolutionary, because as I say, excellent score, fantastic art, animations, sheer amount of voice acted dialogue and characters you'll meet throughout the game. It really was an absolute powerhouse at the time, and I believe does it stand the test of time? Yes, I believe it does. If you like point and clicks, this is definitely one you should be trying. If you're unsure about the point and click genre, this is definitely a great place to get your toes wet, so to speak, as this is still an excellent example of these games at their best. So anyway, gang, we'll conclude our dealings here. As ever, thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch the video. I hope you found it useful or interesting in some way. And as ever, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, let me know you're alive, and I'll see you all next time. Bye now.